Thank you, Nancy. I am honored to introduce Ms. Eileen Gordon, Chairman and CEO of Ingredion Incorporated. Ingredion is a global Fortune 500 company based in Worcestershire. They make ingredients used in foods, beverages, drugs, paper, and other products. Ms. Gordon was born and raised in Newtown, Massachusetts, a suburb of Boston. As a young student, she was very good at math. She was encouraged to apply her skills at an early age. Her father, an accountant, would bring home spreadsheets for her to work on. Ms. Gordon has always been proactive. In junior high school, she convinced the school principal that she should take shop class rather than home ec. In those days, she was the only girl in shop class. She went on to study math at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. While at MIT, Ms. Gordon learned to solve more than math problems. She wanted to work part-time in the school's alumni office. The hours were too much given her demanding class schedule. So Ms. Gordon proposed that she and her roommates split the hours. She was definitely ahead of her time with the job-sharing approach. At first, Ms. Gordon planned on being a teacher. She spent one summer teaching computers to high school students. After that, she decided that a career in business would be a better plan. So she went to MIT's Sloan School of Management and earned a master's degree in management. Ms. Gordon began her career at the Boston Consulting Group as a strategy consultant. She started in the Boston office, but when an assignment in London opened up, she quickly volunteered. She met her husband, Bram Bluestein, at BCG. After their wedding, they were relocated to Chicago to open the firm's first office in the Midwest. From BCG, Mrs. Gordon joined the packaging industry. She spent 17 years at the Packaging Corporation of America, a division of Tenneco Inc. There, Ms. Gordon rose to become vice president and general manager of the folding carton business, and she became Tenneco's first female officer. She then spent 10 years at Rio Tinto Alcan. She started as a senior vice president of Pekini Plastic Packaging Group. In 2007, she was promoted to president and CEO of the Alcan Packaging Group. She was in charge of the $6.5 billion global packaging business. The job was in Paris, France, but Ms. Gordon's family was in Chicago and she didn't want to move them. So she decided to take the job and commute from Chicago to Paris for a couple of years. Mrs. Gordon had always wanted to be a CEO, and she achieved her ultimate career goal in 2009. She became chairman, president, and CEO of Ingredion. The company has thrived under her leadership. Since she joined, the stock price has tripled and sales have grown significantly to over $6 billion. Ms. Gordon is an expert corporate director. In addition to Ingredion, she serves on the board of International Paper. In the past, she has been a director of 5 public companies. She was the first female director of each. Ms. Gordon has been recognized for her achievements. She received 2013 Director of the Year Award from the National Association of Corporate Directors, and she is on Fortune's list of most powerful women in business. Ms. Gordon is a passionate advocate of women in STEM careers, and Ingredion is a legacy sponsor of Girls for Science. It's a local group for young girls. They learn about STEM careers and are encouraged to study STEM subjects. Thanks to Ingredion's support, Girls for Science has sent several students to summer space camp. They learn about what it takes to be an astronaut. Ms. Gordon and Ingredion are also a strong supporter of my school, Graves Elementary, where their junior achievement volunteers come to our classes and teach us about business and entrepreneurship. Ms. Gordon lives in Chicago and is an active member of the community. She is the director of Northwestern Memorial Healthcare and World Business Chicago, and a member of the board of the Economic Club of Chicago, the Executives Club of Chicago, and the Chicago Council on Global Affairs. Ms. Gordon and her husband Bram, a management consultant, have been married for over 30 years. They raised their 2 adult children, Andrew and Emily, in the Chicago area. Their family remains close. They are all here with us tonight. Ms. Gordon's son and daughter-in-law are expecting a baby girl this month. Ms. Gordon is hoping to be her STEM role model, like her father was to her. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Eileen Gordon.
Wow, that's a great award, and thank you all for being here. It's really quite a moment to think about this. And as you saw from the slides, my husband and I actually came to Chicago 35 years ago, and to be here today, it's really quite something all these years. But I want to thank Paola for that flattering introduction, and you really did a fantastic job. And you know, I told Paola, and I mentioned to the junior achievement people when we talked about this over the summer, I said, I really want you to find a fabulous young woman who is smart and very focused and loves math and science to introduce me. So that was my condition, and they really met every one of those conditions. And Paola, I'm sure your parents, who I've met and are here tonight, and your brother could not be more proud of you. So I say this is the beginning of your, I think, CEO career. So I'm really grateful and humbled to be inducted into the Junior Achievement Business Hall of Fame. And it's truly an honor to be included among the ranks of these impressive business leaders, from Henry Crown and Ray Kroc to Sheila Penrose and Deb DeHaas. In fact, I said, you know, I'm really not old enough to be in a Hall of Fame, but they told me I was. But many thanks to those who nominated me, and the Junior Achievement Executive Committee, and the past laureates who selected me. And really, congratulations to my fellow laureates, Norm and Phil. It's really quite a night. And I'm really delighted that so many of my friends and colleagues and business partners and in my family are here to celebrate with me. I'm really most appreciative that you all came out tonight. And I'm really touched by everybody's support. Now, as Paola told you, as a young student, I was really inspired by my parents, who, by the way, are still alive and constantly calling me and asking me, you know, what I'm working on and what I'm achieving. And they really encouraged me to pursue my passion in math, which became evident about the same age as Paola. So I think it was about 5th or 6th grade that I felt that I had a strength there, and everybody encouraged me. And my parents showed me how my classroom education could be applied to practical business situations. So we always talked about that in the car, wherever we were going. And they instilled in the confidence to me to reach for the stars. And they always said, you can do it, just go for it. Now, unfortunately, not all young students have such wonderful role models as I did. And that's why junior achievement is so valuable, and we're very impressed with the programs. It's the junior achievement volunteers who help students connect the dots from the classroom to the workplace. And that makes all the difference. So with programs for students at all levels, Junior Achievement really does live up to its mission to inspire and prepare young people to succeed in the global economy. And I must say that I've been impressed and enjoyed meeting all the Junior Achievement students that are here tonight. They've really been such finesse and capability to really communicate is really very impressive. So in keeping with the mission of the organization, I'd like to offer some advice to the students who are here tonight and the young professionals that are in the audience. I can't help myself. So first of all, my advice always is to have a plan. And even people at Ingredion, they hear me talk about this. So it's not just for young people, it's for everybody. And you might know what you want to do, but you need a plan to get there. And since things don't always work out, my advice is always have a backup plan and a backup to the backup plan, because you never know what's going to happen and you want to achieve your goals. But developing a plan takes some thought, but it's an important roadmap to your future. So my second piece of advice is to stay in school and get an education. And I even say this to business people, that you can always continue to develop your skills. And of course, you can't go wrong with a STEM degree, that is science, technology, engineering, or math. I'm a little biased, but it's a great training for anything that you want to do. And jobs in the STEM field, this science and technology, are growing really fast. And these jobs typically pay better. So the experts predict that in the future, there won't be enough qualified people to fill all these STEM roles. So you'll have lots of job choices. So that's my advice to the young people. Get a degree and excellence in high school and college in the STEM area. Now, my third piece of advice is don't be afraid to take risks. And I have to, again, commend Paola for being willing to take the risk to be up here tonight. I was talking with a few young students who went to this space camp in Alabama that our company sent them. And we, as you saw in the photo, we were talking about this about a month ago. And they flew from Chicago, and it was the first time they were on a plane without their parents. And they told me they were very nervous. But they took the risk, and when they got to space camp, they were very proud of themselves, so they felt they had accomplished something. So if you're not willing to take the risks, and I've taken many in my career, and I must say that I've had great support people around me, including my husband, who said, you can do it, you'll figure it out, you'll miss out on great opportunities. So when Alcan asked me would I be willing to be CEO in Paris, I actually tell the story that I said no. And my husband said, what are you, crazy? You'll figure it out. So you'll commute, we'll work, we'll support you. And I took the risk, and I figured it out, and it was very successful. Now, finally, I have one more piece of advice for our young people today, and that is to have a mentor. Somebody who gives you advice and guidance. Maybe right now it's your parents. It could be an older sibling. It could be a teacher. It could be somebody else in the community. But I'll tell you that all successful leaders have mentors, and I continue to have mentors in everything that I do. So it's not just for young people, it's for people throughout their career. And the interesting thing about mentors is they can see things in ways that we sometimes miss. And they won't accept excuses. And they'll see through any insecurities, and they'll push you. And that's what you want to be. You want to be pushed to stretch. And Ingredion is proud to be a long-term supporter of junior achievement, and I'm very excited that our people at Ingredion teach classes and participate in the different possibilities. And it's my hope that the students here tonight will continue to be inspired by the role models that they meet through junior achievement, not just through Ingredion, but everywhere. So again, thanks again for this great honor and a wonderful evening. Thank you.